MFA updates
Good morning and welcome to MFA Update on FM 88 with me, Panik Nisa Grairuk. Today's topic, Thailand's economic and investment opportunities in Iran, is a very interesting one and somehow unusual as doing business or investing in Iran is not a familiar concept for many Thai businesses. I can say that a lot of misconception comes to mind when speaking of Iran. Many of you may already be wondering what opportunities there are for Thai businesses there. Let me tell you that Iran is situated in one of the most strategic locations in the world and is also one of the world's oldest and largest economy, and yet few people are aware of these facts. Today, our special guest, His Excellency Mr. Warawut Pongprapapan, Ambassador of Thailand to the Islamic Republic of Iran, will be sharing with us his insights about Iran as well as the opportunities for Thai businesses to do business and invest in this economic powerhouse. Good morning, Ambassador. Can you please share with us what it is really like to live in Iran and why Iran is a market with great potential for Thai businesses?
Thank you for choosing Iran as the topic of our discussion this morning. And it seems to me that Iran is quite unknown to many people, including those living in Thailand. I myself have some sort of misperception about Iran before coming over here. Mm-hmm. But after living in Iran for over a year, and I found that Iran is a beautiful country with long history and rich cultural heritage. Iran is used to be known as Persia, which is one of the world's oldest civilization, and have been trading with Thailand since Ayutthaya Kingdom. And furthermore, all the people I have met have been very kind and always eager to share their hospitality. To speak about the statistics, Iran is the 18th largest country in the world, or 3 times the size of Thailand, with a population of over 85 million, most of which are young and literate. 85 million, when you consider number of population in GCC region, 85 million is more than, it's only half the size of the whole GCC countries. So you can imagine the size of Iran in terms of population. Iran is also rich in oil and gas, as well as all sorts of minerals such as coal, copper, iron. This is just to name a few. In fact, even after facing several decades of sanctions, Iran is still one of the largest economy in the world. The GDP similar to Thailand. Iran is also a member of OPEC and ranked 3rd in oil reserves after Venezuela and Saudi Arabia, and 2nd in natural gas reserve after Russia. Furthermore, Iran is located in one of the most strategic locations in the world, connecting Europe to the Middle East and Central Asia, making it ideal to act as a regional hub. It has also the logistic infrastructures ready, including railways, which connects its shipping ports to all neighboring countries. Very good roads connecting all the major cities and borders, and a number of international airports in all the major cities. Iran's immediate neighbors alone consist of Azerbaijan, Armenia, Turkmenistan, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Turkey, and Iraq. There's around 500 million of people. And if you take into consideration other Eastern Europe and Central Asia countries, which also very easily accessible from Iran, that 500 million becomes much larger. And not only that, Iran also controls the majority of the Strait of Hormuz, which is the world's most important oil and gas shipping route. Well, the point I'm trying to make is that Iran is a country with great potential. It has an abundance of natural resources and its own agriculture. It is located in one of the most important strategic locations in the world and has a large population of the young and educated. Most importantly, Iran remains one of the very few blue ocean markets for foreign investment and businesses left in the world. And because of these reasons, I believe Thai businesses should be aware of this market, be alert, and be ready to jump in when there is an opportunity. I know for a fact that several large Thai companies are keeping a very close eye on Iran and waiting for such an opportunity.
Thank you, Ambassador. It is certainly very intriguing. You make me really want to visit Iran. So, however, I'm sure that there is another side to the story as to why the Thai private sector isn't already all over Iran. So, can you please give us a brief overview of the challenges of doing business in Iran?
Well, thank you for this question. This is very important. The two most important obstacles for businesses today to enter Iran is the sanctions and also Iran's own regulations to protect their domestic market. And allow me to elaborate a little bit. Iran is subject to sanctions from the U.S. and is in the process of negotiating an agreement called the JCPOA. The JCPOA is, in a sense, an agreement to limit the nuclear activities of Iran in exchange for economic sanction relief. And because of sanctions, businesses that deal with Iran outside food and humanitarian products can be barred from doing business with the U.S. And furthermore, it is impossible to directly transfer money in and out of Iran, making business transactions very complicated, especially for those with limited experience in dealing through a third party. In addition, as you would imagine, when your country is subject to heavy sanctions, you would have to be self-reliant to survive. Meaning that it is important that your industry can produce and satisfy the needs of the domestic market as much as possible. And to achieve this, local producers need to be supported. And at the same time, foreign competition needs to be limited. And this is exactly what the Iranian government has done. It has helped subsidize the prices of many locally produced commodities and put in place law and regulations that would prevent foreign products from entering Iran or being economically competitive with Iranian ones. These two factors, among others such as language barriers and red tape, are what makes it difficult for foreign businesses to enter Iran.
Very informative. Thank you for your insights, Ambassador. If you can specifically pinpoint the products and opportunities for Thai businesses, what would they be?
Well, let me first inform you that the current administration is very keen to pursue what they call look-east policy, which essentially means that Iran wants to have closer relations and do more trade with countries in Asia. Of course, Thailand is included. And in the past, Iran's economy was somehow very reliant on trade with the West. And, when things don't go as planned, the whole system was very badly affected. To give you an example, the value of Iranian money decreased from around 40,000 rials a dollar to 300,000 rials a dollar. that is in a span of a couple of years, and inflation also went off the charts. As a result, Iran wants to be more self-reliant and diversify the risk. This is an important opportunity, therefore, for the Thai businesses to take advantage of this policy. When it comes to trade, both sides have a lot of products that are needed by the other. This regarding the current state of sanctions. Iran is a major producer of oil and gas, as well as petrochemical products and fertilizers. And Iran is also a major producer of iron, copper, and aluminum. And from what I have heard, from what I know, the price of those products are very competitive comparing to those from other countries. Iran needs to import a lot of raw materials and agricultural products, which Thailand is a producer, especially rice and natural rubber. So without barriers to entry, I believe Thai furniture products, textiles, jewelry, as well as auto parts have very high potential of finding a good market here. Our products in this field are known to be very high quality at very competitive prices. Another area I think Thai businesses are well known for is the service industry. And in that addition to its very large domestic market, Iran has the potential to be the next big tourist destination. Not only do they have world-class natural attractions ranging from ski fields to deserts, they also have world-class historical sites dating back thousands of years. Furthermore, the cost of traveling in Iran is still very competitive. So what I believe Iran is lacking is Thai hospitality and our tourism know-how, which makes Thailand the top tourist destination worldwide. When the conditions are right, there is tremendous opportunity for Thai businesses to invest and operate businesses in the service sector. These could include hotels, restaurants, and spas, just to name a few. Today, there are only 2 Thai restaurants in Iran that I'm aware of, and only 1 chain of Thai spa, that's all. So there is some sort of opportunities for the Thai businesses to come.
I follow you, and I can say that I'm convinced of the opportunities you mentioned. Earlier, you said something about challenges and red tape in doing business with Iran. So, how do you think we can overcome these challenges, and what have you done to facilitate Thai businesses?
Well, the most crucial element is for the JCPOA to be a success. Thailand, although we are not a party to the agreement, we have continuously supported positive engagements and diplomatic efforts among the parties involved in their attempt to restore the deal. On our part, the embassy has been in constant engagement with relevant authorities of both Thailand and Iran to reduce the barriers to entry for Thai products. And as it stands, Thailand and Iran have agreed in principle that a free trade agreement or preferential trade agreement are beneficial for both sides. Either agreement, it will clearly help reduce the barriers to entry and grant market access to products which have been previously been protected. In fact, the ministers of commerce of both countries discussed about the FTA and PTA in the first joint trade committee meeting. This was back in 2016, before the unilateral sanctions from the US and before COVID-19. They also explore possible areas of cooperation in the fields of banking that might help facilitate transactions between the 2 countries through other mechanisms such as using local currencies and cryptocurrency. The second meeting is due to take place, but unfortunately, again, it has been delayed due to travel restrictions from COVID-19. But with the COVID situation improving and the JCPOA are also concluding, I believe the second meeting is going to be held in the near future. We should be seeing some significant progress after that. Looking forward, I'm very optimistic that an agreement between the parties of the JCPOA will soon come to a favorable conclusion for all sides. When that time comes, I hope that Thai businesses are well prepared to jump into this market. And may I also add that Thailand and Iran have been good friends and business partners for over 4 centuries. I know our relations will continue to flourish in the years ahead, and I believe both sides have much to do together to live up to this potential. The embassy as well as the Thai commercial office in Tehran is ready to support and facilitate the private sector of both sides in any way we can. So please don't hesitate to reach us.
Thank you very much, Ambassador, for your time. Until next time, thank you very much.
Thank you very much and goodbye.
Thank you very much, His Excellency Mr. Warawut Pongprapapan, the Ambassador of Thailand to Iran. Don't forget to follow the YouTube channel MFA Thailand and Facebook page FM88 Radio Thailand English for more updates. Time to say goodbye. I am Kimmy or Kim Paniknisa Grairuk. สวัสดีค่ะ
MFA Updates